took me 14 years, but it has been done. Oh yeah. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello humans, and thank you for joining me in another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, smash the like button. Now, let's get ready for the show. On today's episode... Hello humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. This is a special one. Look at that. It's been a long journey for me. This is a very, very special machine for me. We all have connections to our games. Of course we do. We all have memories. But like I told you when I started this channel, guys, what I talk about are not only the good experiences, the good memories, but specifically the tough times that games help us get through sometimes. So that's what I'm going to tell you about today. Oh man. Well, back in the 90s, back in the early 90s, I used to have a job where I hated my job. It paid a lot of money, but relatively a lot of money for who I was at the time. You know, a young man with family, lacked the experience, lacked the maturity, but you know, I was trying my best, and I worked for somebody that was just a horrible human being inside. Deep down in their soul, not completely, but they had certain attributes that are some of the worst a human being can have. Regardless, guys, I had to do the job. I had to do the job, and I had to spend in there anywhere from 50 to 60 hours a week. Sometimes I would work 3 days in a row, 14-hour shifts, and that's what I needed to do to pay the bills, man. But it was the kind of job that you know, I mean, this should tell you everything. The day I left, I invited my former employer outside so I could beat the shit out of him. That's right, that's the kind of job it was. And it's funny now, but it wasn't funny back then. So I abruptly parted ways with this company and find myself, you know, working 2 and 3 jobs to support my family so I could, you know, just pull ahead, you know, just to do the things that I wanted to do. And I remember that for my birthday, I was so depressed. I mean, I was completely just up to my eyeballs in everyday stuff with raising a family, you know, financial hardships and what have you. And I had $50, and it was my birthday. And I said, if I don't do something for myself, I'm gonna blow my brains out, you know, it's that kind of day. Alright, to put it in perspective as far as his jobs, guys, I had 3 jobs. I had a morning factory job, you know, and I worked my 8 hours there. And this is when the economy was not too strong, so I worked 8 hours. I would get out of that job, ride a bike to Big 5 Sporting Goods, where I would work another 3 to 4 hours, sometimes 5 hours, right? So that's 13 hours. Here's job number 3. Job number 3, I was in call to pick up bodies for a mortuary, right? So I would have a beeper. This is how long ago this is. I had a beeper. For those of you who don't know what a beeper is, it's like this. And they would just page you, and you would show up, and I would have to, you know, look for these addresses on. There was no Google Maps, there was no MapQuest, none of that crap, no Waze. You had to look it up on a Thomas guide. Does anybody remember a Thomas guide? So those were my jobs. How many days did I have off a week? 0. Had 0 days off a week. I did this for nearly 2 years. I had no days off. And it was some of the hardest times, man, because I was exhausted. I was constantly exhausted, you know. I didn't get to enjoy my kids. I didn't get to enjoy my family, and it was some of the toughest times I've ever had. So anyway, I went down to the store to pick up what you see here. I didn't even have time to play video games, right? I didn't have time to for myself. It was just work 24/7. Can you imagine working 13 hours and then waking up in the middle of the night to go pick up a body for a couple of hours and make more money that way? That was me, man. I mean, I was just but anyway, this was my little piece of heaven. This is what I got myself saying, you know, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it. I bought it for $50, and that's what I got. No games, nothing, just that. And that's the way it stayed for a long time. Eventually, I did get some games, and I bought some at Game Crazy when they were going out of business. Those games were bought like in 2005. I think that's when it went out of business, right around there. But anyway, so you can see what a long journey this has been. I actually got these games when I was overseas. I got a couple of them, but I've always wanted to play, you know, Soul Hackers and Rondo. You know, ever since I saw them when I started learning about Atlas. Now, the reason this machine is special to me is because, man, it would put a little bit of sunshine in my life at a point where there was none, right? And it was just getting it back to my core, to who I was, that, you know, deep down in the center of me. And despite all the crap that might have been going on, there's a good guy in there that liked playing games, and that made me happy, knowing that someday I would get to play this machine, play the games for it, even though I didn't have much, even though I knew I couldn't afford any games for it. I bought it, and eventually I did buy games for like $3 and, you know, $5 on that closeout deal. And they're worth more money now, but I would never sell them. Never. They are such a important part of my gaming journey, and eventually I did play them, and I did turn on this machine. And what you see here is this machine being turned on after, God, it's got to be at least 9 years since I've, you know, turned it on to play a new game that I bought. This is, you know, a big moment for me, and I wanted to put it on camera. I wanted to share it because, you know, a lot of times we think in bad times that they're never going to end, but they do. All you have to do is stay focused and move forward. You don't quit. The only thing, if you want guarantees in life, quit. If you quit, you'll guarantee that nothing will happen for you. But if you keep working, whichever way it may be, you will have hope, and eventually you will get somewhere. Maybe not the best place. Maybe you're not living the dream like I am. I'm kidding, guys. But things do get better. But man, this machine, I'm telling you, in the darkest hour, this machine that everybody criticized and everybody said was a piece of junk and nobody liked at the time, because now everybody loves the Saturn. Now everybody talks about it like this great machine. It was those same people that didn't buy it. It's the same people that bought the PlayStation, not the ones that are reminiscing now, you know, about the Sega Saturn. And man, I'm telling you, when I played that machine, I was in heaven. I didn't care that it was the old generation. I didn't care what PlayStation was doing. I didn't care about the PlayStation 2. I didn't care about any of those things. I was having a great time with my console. And that console right there people were having, you know, they had the latest and greatest systems. They would be telling me about all these games. Not me. This bad boy right here. Let me sail on through. And yeah, people thought I was weird for having a Saturn, you know, and everybody else had the PlayStation. But I didn't care. I did not care. All I cared about is that my games were awesome. I was having fun with my machine. And you know what? This is still one of the best controllers ever, especially for fighting games. So, that was it, guys. I just wanted to share with you the story of this Saturn with you and the special moment that this is going to be for me. I'm going to play some of this. I'll probably put it on the screen here too, so you guys can see some gameplay. Maybe put it at the end of the video. And I'm also going to play some Street Fighter Zero that I picked up overseas that I never got to own and I always wanted to have. I remember always wanting X-Men, Children of the Atom. Never got it. Of course, even now, no, it's still expensive, but man, I'm telling you guys, if you don't own one, get you one. And whatever gaming system you have, enjoy it, whether it's a current generation or not. You do you, have fun, and always, always remember, never, ever be afraid to be happy. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Let's do this. Alright, let's see what this bad boy's about. I'm just playing normal. Settle. So don't. Round one.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, click the notification bell, and remember, never be afraid to be happy. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care.